All right, guys. Well, first of all, I want to thank you. Like, just getting the invitation to be here in front of you tonight is truly special. It's near and dear to my heart. Like she mentioned, my own nonprofit works in schools with this exact age group. So when Kelly called and said, hey, would you like to come? I didn't even know any logistics of what was going on. I just said yes. So thank you so much for your time tonight. You took time out of your schedule to show up. So thank you for that. And most importantly, thank you for your attention. Because even though you're here, you're eating, you have cell phones, you have other things on your mind, but thank you for your attention as well. But tonight I want to talk to you about something that has completely changed my life. And I'm going to go ahead and say it, guys. Look, I'm a huge nerd. So a lot of that's going to come out of me tonight, and I hope you don't mind. I mean, how many superhero fans do I have in the room tonight? Few? How many people have actually seen Endgame?
No, don't spoil it.
I'm not going to spoil it. All right, I was part of the Thursday night crew. We actually rented out 2 theaters. That's how obsessed I was with it. But what I want to talk to you tonight about is the hero's journey. All right, it's something that I've studied and I've learned in my own life and the power of it. So anytime you watch a hero's movie, you know, whether it's Iron Man, Avengers, whatever it is, it starts out in something called the ordinary world. All right, the ordinary world is exactly where you're sitting right now. It's the origin story. And to tell you why I'm so passionate about the hero's journey, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my origin story so you'll understand why I get so fired up about this topic. I grew up in South Mississippi, all right? South Mississippi, I will go ahead and say it, it's statistically true, it's the fattest state in the country. And I was part of that stat, okay? I was obese my entire life. I came out the womb, I joke with my mom now, I came out the womb rolling. I was just a big kid since I was little. And growing up, I had all these insecurities that I was dealing with. I was a complete emotional eater growing up. I would feel depressed, I would get sad, and I would eat my emotions until I didn't feel them anymore. And just become numb to the world. That journey continued, my origin story continued all the way through college. I actually was fortunate enough to play college football at the University of Southern Mississippi, where I saw success, you know, being a college football All-American, being a part of some championship teams. But my senior year playing college football, I ballooned up to 305 pounds. And yes, I was achieving success on the field, but where my origin story took a left turn was on the outside. I was living this amazing life. I had good grades. I was achieving success on the field. I was nominated for one of the best players in the country at my position. But on the inside, I was dead to the world. I was miserable, guys. And actually, I heard a conversation earlier tonight that is very near and dear to my heart, and I'm gonna talk about it a little bit for myself. My entire life, I grew up being overweight, and I was a people pleaser, really bad. Okay, if somebody told me to do something, yes, absolutely. If somebody needed something, I was doing it. I gained my validation in who I was as a human being, as a person, and how I made others feel, okay? How many mentees in the room right now, and you don't have to raise your hand, feel like you're choosing a path in life and it's not your own? That was me. I was making decisions in my life according to the person I looked up to the most in the world, my big brother. I wanted to be just like him. So I was making decisions to be just like him. My parents, both my parents worked in the education system. This is the world I grew up in. So I was making decisions according to what my parents wanted me to be. So I got into college and I went through 3 majors before I decided on one. I ended up getting my MBA in finance, which I haven't used since then. But I was just making these decisions according to what the world wanted me to be. I had dreams inside of my head. I had things I wanted to do, but because I was living according to the way the world wanted me to be, that's how I was making decisions. So here I am, I've graduated college, I've got 2 degrees and a master's, college football All-American, have the world in front of me, fighting depression, fighting anxiety. And I know I work in a lot of schools, I know that those problems are getting younger and younger with the generations. All right, and especially with these high school students right now, they're struggling with it, I know you are. Okay, the pressure to perform, the pressure that your parents and your faculty put on you to be successful because they want the best for you. I know looking back that my parents wanted those things for me because they just wanted me to be happy. They didn't kind of fully grasp who I was, but they just wanted the best for me. So looking back, I know it was out of love, but it wasn't my journey. So I continued down that path in my origin story until I got in my late 20s. I had gone out in business, started my own business. I'd lost a bunch of weight. I'd lost over 100 pounds at this point, and didn't solve one problem I was dealing with. But I was 28 years old, and in the course of a 3-month period, my business partner stole money from me, and I was left with nothing. My fiance and I decided to end things literally a month before the wedding, so we called it off. And to top things off within that 3-month period, my apartment I was living in got broke into and everything got stolen. So I was trying to do this thing called life, this thing that your parents and teachers are preparing you for. I was trying to do life, and here I am 28 years old with nothing. I'm trying to live this American dream and this vision of what I had for my life, and I just hit rock bottom. This was the second time in my life that I fell into a deep, deep depression. Just because I was struggling with these feelings of not being good enough, of trying to live up to everyone's expectations of who I was supposed to be. So that's my origin story up until that point. Okay, you've always watched superhero movies and you've seen kind of where they grew up and their background story, but this is when my life changed. So I'm laying in bed one night after work, and my life at this point was literally work, bed, work, bed. Like I didn't want to face the world at this point. I was so depressed and so like in a dark space. But the way I was looking at the world was broken. I had a broken pair of glasses I was seeing the world through. But I'm laying there in bed and I'm like, this can't be life. Life can't be just working and going to sleep and repeating that process every single day. I've been successful in life, I've done things in life, and I know I was not placed on this earth to just build someone else's dream. I was not placed on this earth to make someone else's life happy and make myself miserable in the process. So at that moment, this fear crept over me. And this is a part of the hero's journey. It's called the call to adventure. Okay? And the call to adventure is this. I was laying there struggling with depression, and this vision kept coming into my head. And it was at the end of my life is what I'm envisioning. And I meet my maker at the end of my life. And he presents me with a mirror. When I look into that mirror, I'm seeing a reflection of a man that I don't recognize. And he says to me, that's who you were supposed to be, but you didn't take advantage of it. That was the man you were supposed to become, but you wasted your opportunities. And that hit me. And from that day, that vision just kept coming into my head. And I'm like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I can't waste my life. I don't know what gifts I have inside of me, but I'm gonna make it my life's mission to find out what those gifts are. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I just started taking action. And for you mentees in the room, if you don't know what you wanna do in this world, just start taking action. Just start doing things. That's how I had to figure it out. Within the course of a calendar year, I became a best-selling author. I started speaking. I started my entrepreneur journey, and that was my call to adventure. Okay? And part of that call to adventure is trials and tribulations, right? Okay? So in that call to adventure, you're stepping out in faith. All right? The seniors in the room, you're about to go to your call to adventure. You're about to go off to school. You're about to take the next step in your journey. Even sophomores, as you go into being a junior, as you go into being a senior, you're getting closer to that call to adventure. I mean, you can really look at every day as a call to adventure. That's how we look at it. But in that call to adventure, it's you stepping out in faith and fixing a broken BS in your head. Okay? We all, every single person in this room right now, we have a BS in our head that we have to fix. Okay? And it's not what you're thinking it is. All right? It's not that first thing that comes to mind. The BS in your head is actually your belief system. Okay? In that call to adventure, you have to have a belief in yourself. I kept getting in trouble in my life. I kept having events happen not according to my plan because I had a broken BS. My belief system was, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're gonna fail, you're gonna miss your opportunity. That was my belief system that I kept repeating to myself. It wasn't until I took that broken pair of glasses off and changed my perspective of how I saw the world till I started believing in myself. And for me, it was recognizing where my true power comes from. I said, you know, I was put on this earth with gifts. And I have to go through these trials and tribulations to unveil my gifts. In any hero's journey, they start going through these trials and tribulations, all right? And it's that leveling up process that the hero goes through. It's when they're discovering that they truly have powers, all right? But unless they believe they can do it, they're never going to. I mean, can you imagine Superman just staying Clark Kent? How awful that would be? Thor never picking up the hammer? Iron Man never inventing the suit? Okay? They had to go through trouble and they had to go through trials to unveil those gifts. When you look at the process of making a diamond, how is a diamond made? Under years and years of pressure, pressing rocks into a diamond. One of my favorite things to think about, I love like Japanese culture and samurais and the way that they formulate their way of living. I know everyone here can picture a samurai sword. How is a samurai sword made? They take a piece of metal and they stick it in the fire. They pull it out and they beat it down. They stick it back into the fire. They pull it out and they beat it down. They repeat that process hundreds and hundreds of times. It's not a pretty process. But the last time they pull it out, they stick it in the water and shine it out. You have a beautiful samurai sword with amazing capabilities. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about today, is becoming your own hero. Becoming the hero of your own story. So in those trials and tribulations of life, guys, because I'm gonna be honest with you, they're gonna come, all right? Life is not easy. It's not always sunshine and rainbows, I'm here to tell you. I didn't even tell you 9/10 of the crap I've been through in my life. So life's gonna hit you in the face, it's going to. But that's the beauty of it. You have to have a growth mindset. That's the way the hero looks at trials and tribulations of your life. To say, okay, this is another challenge for me to become better. How many people in here has seen, Captain Marvel? Anyone? Few people? I love it. There's a beautiful scene in that movie where her back's just against the wall and she's fighting the bad guy, and she just, it's almost that point where she's ready to give up. And she has this beautiful moment where she realizes her true power. And she just flames up and goes on to the level up And it took her going through trials and tribulations to get there. So what I want to talk about is being the hero of your own journey, guys. Everybody in this room right now, you're the writer, producer, screenwriter, author of your own movie. You have that power. You literally can change your life by making a decision. You have that ability to write the screenplay of your life. You're choosing right now the characters in your movie. You're in this room right now. You made a choice to be here. These are the characters in your movie. The soundtrack. I love film scores. Huge Hans Zimmer fan. Y'all probably don't know who that is. But I love soundtracks. I love the music that I put in my ears, the motivation that I listen to. The setting. I choose where I go every day. I choose what I see. You're writing the script of your movie, of your hero's journey, every day of your life. You just have to be conscious in that decision. And what I want to leave you with is this, guys. In life, it's not pretty. It's not easy, and there's going to be tough times. But here's my challenge for you tonight. This light right here. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm up here trying to be the light for you. But here's what I want you to do, and here's what I want you to remember. Everybody pull out your cell phone. Turn your light on. See how much brighter the room just got? See how we can actually see each other now? This right here is my challenge to you. I'm up here being the light to let you know that you have the same capability. You have the power to be the light for everyone else in your life. Guys, we live in a dark world. We live in a world right now that gets in a lot of trouble, and people around us right now are struggling. People are broken right now, but you're making the choice to be in this room right now. You're making the choice to make a difference in your life. This is your opportunity. Your opportunity is this, to be that light for the people around you. Be that light your world desperately needs, because I promise you this, that is one decision you'll never regret. You'll never regret helping other people by being the light in their life. So that's my challenge to you tonight, guys. Go be the light that your world needs you to be. Thank you.